Good evening. Welcome to the February 7th, 2022 meeting of the Stillwater City Council. This time I will call the meeting to order, and I'll ask you all to stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, councilors. First up tonight, we have the consent docket. Any questions, comments, or motion on the consent docket?
Motion to approve the consent docket.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve consent. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the consent docket is approved. I don't have anyone signed up for public comment on items not scheduled for public hearings. We will move to item 6, which is public hearings. First up, 6A, receive public comment regarding a request for a specific use permit to allow medical marijuana dispensary located at the property addressed as 115 South Main Street. This is CC-22-16. Ms. Carnley, did we have good notice on this item?
Yes, we did.
Brady, before you get started, I should just welcome the city attorney, newly appointed at our last meeting as the city attorney. This is her first meeting as the official city attorney. So congratulations, Ms. Carnley.
Thank you.
Now you can go, Brady.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Brady Moore, Chief Performance Innovation Officer, here tonight to present on the specific use permit at 115 South Main Street. This property is currently a medical marijuana dispensary that is in the process of transferring ownership. The area map that's here before you shows the purple hatch pattern on the east side of Main Street between Elm and Maple. This aerial map shows the location highlighted in red, and you can see to the north is M&K Lighting and Shepherd's. This street view shows a picture of likewise dispensary with the adequate commercial parking that they need. When we look at zoning on the zoning map, this area is zoned as CG, Commercial General, and our land development code calls for a specific use permit for a marijuana dispensary in CG zoning. As we look at the future land use map, just to see on our comprehensive plan, if commercial zoning is still in this area, and you can see on this map, zoomed in, it shows commercial use for this location. With that, is there any questions of staff?
Councilors, any questions? All right, at this time I'll open the public hearing. I don't think we have anyone signed up to speak on this item. So at this time I will close the public hearing, and I'll ask Brady to let us know what the Planning Commission recommended.
Yes, sir. Planning Commission recommended approval on a vote of 5-0.
Thank you, Brady. Councilors, comments, questions, or a motion on the item?
Motion to accept Planning Commission's recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the Planning Commission recommendation to approve the specific use permit. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, that SUP is approved. Item 7, general orders. Presentation from the Stillwater Community Center Foundation on the Safety and Accessibility Improvement Project at the Community Center. Mr. James Beckstrom. And team.
All right. No, I don't. So, well, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm Jim Beckstrom, Chair of the Stillwater Community Center Foundation, and I reside at 2218 West 4th Avenue. Mayor Joyce and Council, thank you for your support in helping making the Safety and Accessibility Improvement Project on the south side of Stillwater Community Center a reality. I'm here this evening with the current foundation board. These are all members of the foundation board, and we've got about a handful missing yet. We expanded our board by 6 people this year, and I think we're off to doing some great things. I also asked some foundation members from the past. We've got a few standing in the back, or at least one in the back. There, she's waving her hand. Okay. who helped make this. It takes a community to make something like this happen, and everybody pitched in. Stillwater Community Center Foundation is thrilled to announce the achievement of our funding goal of $235,000 for the construction of the Safety and Accessibility Improvement Project. Funding has been pledged and will be released to the city as construction progresses. Thanks to the donations of more than 100 businesses and individuals, the project will become a reality. The community center has more than 100,000 admissions a year on a normal year. More than 10% of our population has mobility challenges. So it kind of gives you a sense of scale and scope of how important this project is to the community. This project will improve the lives of literally hundreds of community center users who have mobility challenges. It provides, and I'm going to, okay, I'm going to get out of the way. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is going to be backwards. We can do this. Okay, so it's going to provide ramp access from the main parking lot. Up till now, if you park in the main parking lot, you have to go around the block to get into the building. This is going to end that. The other thing it's going to do is actually connect the main complex to the dining and event hall. If somebody's in a wheelchair and they need to move from the old cafeteria, they need to go all the way around the block to get in the other side of the building. This is going to eliminate this. It's also going to help operationally. If you have to move a rack of tables from the dining and event hall to the main complex, they have to go all the way around the block to do that. So this is going to improve operational efficiency too for the community center. So we're very excited. The other thing it's going to enable, we're going to reverse the flow through the parking lot. So for the first time ever, folks are going to be able to exit a bus and not be in the street while they're doing it. So they're going to be able to come into the parking lot. They're going to be under cover. They're going to be able to safely egress out of buses, cars. Everybody using this facility is going to be able to get out of their car and into the facility without having to go across the street. So thank you guys so much. This year's Leadership Stillwater class, with support of the Chamber of Commerce, took the fundraising for this project as one of their main focuses. They were hugely successful, and their big push at the end made this $235,000 possible. We are so grateful for their effort. The large anchor donation of the Faye Aileen Rife Brown Foundation got funding moving in the early 2020. The Brown Foundation triggered the second wave of major support. We also want to recognize some of the other major donors, which includes Kicker, Ms. Sally Banks, Bank First, Mr. Bill Cooper, Dr. Robert and Debbie Breedlove, and the Beckstrom family. The project has been designed and the permit is in place to enable bidding and construction. We've already got the permit done. And I want to thank the city's planning group. They worked with us hand in hand with Ghost and Associates and Integrate Architecture throughout the design process, and so permitting was super efficient. We had check-in points and we got through the design very well, and we're ready to rock and roll. We believe this improvement to the center and the pending development of Block 34 will be transformational for our downtown and for our community. So thank you very much for your support. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Jim.
You bet.
And to
Happy
the whole
to do it.
board and to the whole Community Center Foundation. This is a monumental effort. Certainly, you said you started fundraising in early 2020, and so it's been an effort during lots of other monumental efforts that have been happening in our
Yes.
community. So it's a tribute to your team and to the foundation and to your donors that you've been able to put this together, and we're very excited to see the project get underway.
Thank you. So are we. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for
Appreciate it.
being here.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that takes us to item 8 on the agenda, which is an ordinance on second read. This is Ordinance 3489, an ordinance of the City of Stillwater, Oklahoma, granting a non-exclusive permit to Clarity Telecom LLC for the construction and operation of a cable system. This is the ordinance that allows Blue Peak, our newest fiber provider in town, to operate their system. They're already constructing heavily around town, and that's really exciting to see a new option. So. Questions, comments, or motion on this ordinance?
Motion to adopt ordinance number 3489.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the ordinance. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, ordinance 3489 is adopted. Next up, I'm actually going to skip ahead. I'm going to go down to 11 and do the appointments for the Stillwater Medical Center Authority Board. There are 2 terms expiring on the Medical Center Authority Board. Those of you who don't know, the Medical Center Authority is a municipal trust, public trust, and the board is appointed by the City Council. There was a joint, per the Medical Center's bylaws, there's a joint nominating committee. 2 city councilors and 2 folks from their board got together to nominate folks from the applicants on the Medical Center Foundation, or the Medical Center Board, excuse me. Lowell Bartow's term is expiring. He asked to be reappointed. Calvin Anthony, his term expired, and he chose not to not to be appointed again, or not to request appointment again. I will just take a second to thank Calvin publicly for his service on the board for several years. In addition to Calvin's service throughout our community for decades, he served as the mayor here in Stillwater. He served as a state rep. He served in countless boards around our community, including the medical center, and has been a tremendous leader in our community. And we certainly appreciate his service and respect his decision to move to something other than serving and continuing to serve on the medical center board. So the recommendation of the nominating committee was to reappoint Lowell Bartow to a new term and to appoint Dr. Todd Green to the open seat of Mr. Anthony. So at this time, I will make the nomination of Lowell Bartow and Dr. Todd Green to the Stillwater Medical Center Authority. We have a motion and a second to appoint these 2 individuals to the authority. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, Lowell Bartow and Dr. Todd Green are appointed to the Medical Center Authority. All right, and we'll skip back up to reports from officers and boards. Ms. Carnley.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Mr. McNichol.
One item, sir. Payne County Board of Commissioners have followed the recommendation from the fire chiefs throughout the county to extend the burn ban through February 21st. That's Monday, February 21st. Payne County remains in a severe drought. The amount of precipitation we received last week will only affect our short-term need for a few days. Please do not burn brush piles. Those piles remain hot for several days, maybe even weeks, and history has shown that they can cause destructive wildland fires. We thank you for your understanding of this matter, and I found out today that there was actually a grass fire reported yesterday, I think is what I heard, and it was burning under the snow. Didn't melt the snow, didn't get rid of the snow, but it burnt under the snow. So that little bit of snow we got is not enough to keep those fires from spreading. So please have some patience and wait for better weather.
Pray for rain.
Yes.
Pray for rain, absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Vice Mayor?
Yes, the city's annual Trash Off event will be Saturday, March 26th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Community members will meet at Couch Park Pavilion 2 before they take to the streets and clean up trash from areas all around town. Volunteers can receive verified community service hours for participating, and an award will be presented to the group that collects the most trash. Contact the Watershed Quality Division at 405-533-8482 by March 21st to RSVP. Important day.
Yes, that's a great event. I haven't been in a group that won it, but I've seen the trophy, and it's really cool.
It's cool.
So
Yep.
you should go try to win it. Councilor Hawkins.
The city's free Sharps collection pilot program is still available through mid-May 2022. Stillwater residents can pick up a free medical Sharps container at the Convenience Collection Center and return filled containers to be properly disposed of at no cost, no questions asked. Sharps pose severe health and safety risks when placed in the trash, flushed, littered, or stored at home. Safe Sharps disposal is important for protecting our families, communities, sanitation, and service workers, and the environment.
Excellent, thank you. Councilor Jaloski.
The City of Stillwater is hiring. Full and part-time positions are available in a variety of areas, including finance, community development, communications, animal welfare, the Stillwater Regional Airport, the library, and more. Visit stillwater.org/employment for a list of opportunities.
Excellent, thank you. Councilor Clark.
Election day is tomorrow. If you did not participate in early voting last week or vote by mail,
Head to your local polling place tomorrow and make your voice heard. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Visit stillwater.org/time to learn more about the transportation sales tax and visitor tax propositions that will be on the ballot. And I've heard a rumor there's a mayor election on the ballot as well.
I've also heard that.
For questions about the election, contact the Payne County Election Board.
Thank you, Councilor Clark. And I will let you all know that tomorrow, Brandon Halcomb of the Stillwater Fire Department will be promoted to Assistant Chief. There will be a pinning ceremony here in this room tomorrow, February 8th at 10 a.m. Residents can watch the ceremony live on AT&T UVerse Channel 99, Suddenlink Channel 14, and the City of Stillwater's YouTube channel. Congratulations to Chief Halcomb, and we appreciate your continued service and dedication to our community. All right, that takes us to the end of the agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the City Council. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, Stillwater City Council is now adjourned. This time I will call to order the Stillwater Utilities Authority meeting for February 7th, 2022. On the consent docket, are there questions or motions?
Motion to approve consent docket?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent docket. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, the consent docket is approved. On general orders, we have approved the purchase of a Titan Vac-Con jet rodding vacuum truck. This one's going to be good.
It's quite a mouthful.
I am excited to hear about this, Mr. Driscoll.
I'm James Driscoll, Water Utilities Director, and I am here tonight to request approval for the purchase of combination jet rodding vacuum sewer cleaning truck. So what is that? It's simply the combination of a high-pressure water system and vacuum system mounted on a vehicle working independently and/or simultaneously to perform the task of removing debris from sanitary sewers and storm drain lines. So if that still didn't make sense, here's a picture to kind of show what it does. In this picture or drawing, there's a truck at the top of the page on paving. At the front of the truck is representing a manhole, and if you see the dark black line coming down, that's a high-pressure jet rodder, and its job is to go up sewer lines and blast stuff free. To the right, coming down the manhole, there's a tube. That's a 8-inch vacuum tube that sucks any of that debris that's blasted loose back up and collects it into the truck so that it doesn't cause a clog further downstream. That's one use for this truck. There's several others that it can do. It doesn't have to do both at the same time. It can do one or the other, or both. Here's a picture of an actual unit, similar to what we're requesting to purchase. So some background. The Water Utilities Capital Improvement Plan includes the replacement of Unit 5712, which is a high-pressure jet rodding and vacuum truck. The current unit has 6,325 operating hours and has become unreliable and needing frequent repairs. State bid quotes were received and reviewed, and multiple equipment demonstrations were observed. The Titan Vac-Con unit, sold by Frontier Equipment Sales, LLC, was selected due to performance and comparable price. So the proposal is, staff is requesting authorization to purchase the new combination jet rodding vacuum truck from Frontier Equipment Sales, LLC, via state contract plus 2% upfitting to replace Unit 5712. Financial impact and funding. The quoted complete unit cost via state contract SW193 is $547,854.37. Funds for this purchase would be appropriated from the Wastewater Capital Fund, and the budget amendment appropriating the funds is included. And I have a recommendation, a recommended motion, but if you have questions, I can try and answer those first.
Thank you, Mr. Driscoll. Trustees, questions?
I was wondering, so it's logged, the one we own now has logged many hours. How many years have we owned that?
I believe it's a little over 12-year-old unit. And we actually have two. We have one at the sewer wastewater treatment plant that's even older than that, and the thought is this one would move to bump that one out. It has less frequent use, but it does serve, excuse me, as a backup unit. So it's, even though they're not as reliable, it's nice to have that backup.
Trustees, further questions? What is your recommended motion?
Motion to approve the purchase of a Titan Vac-Con jet rotting vacuum truck from Frontier Equipment Sales, LLC, via state contract SW193 at a price up to $558,811, and approve the budget amendment appropriating funds from the wastewater fund.
Thank you, James. Trustees?
Motion to accept staff's recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the staff's recommendation to purchase this new equipment. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, that purchase is approved. I think we should get a demonstration of this one. This one seems like. Actually, I'm not sure I want to see a demonstration of this. Now that I think about that. We need a clean project to see. All right, trustees, any reports from the officers or the board? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the SUA. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, Stillwater Utilities Authority is now adjourned. And that concludes our meetings for the evening.